Okay, we are starting chapter 7 now. The year is 2049. Wow, 2050 is just around the corner. We are 54 years old. Humanity 79. Wealth 4. Fame 18. Autonomy, yeah. Vivian jumped a lot. Autonomy 21. Grace 27. It's pretty good. Tammy 90%. Ali 89. Josh 79. Mark 77. Juliet bad and Professor Singer bad. President Irons though good. I have to say that the last chapter made me really happy. It just everything worked out fine in the end, and that's sorry about that. That was probably loud, and that's what it's all about. 10 years later, you find yourself in Surprise, Arizona, walking up to your mother's house. A few of the cacti in front have Santa hats on them. It is the year 2049, and you are about to surprise your mother with a present for the holidays. She has finally been released from the hospital after surgery, performed by robots of your design, you're proud to note, and is living on her own in her retirement community. Robots roam the streets of the neighborhood, performing with errands for the retired people of the community. Economists say the technology that America developed for the war 20 years ago was also what kept it out of recession, and your mom's generation was able to retire comfortably, with lots of cheap robots to perform errands for them in their old age. What did you get, Mom? A robot cat, a robot dog, a new 3D mail printer, so she can send and receive objects over the internet, or the keys to a new flying car. Requires wealth too. No. A robot cat, I guess. Flying car? Nah. Why would I buy a flying car? I don't think that's necessary. A robot cat. She seems like a cat person. I would buy a dog to a dad. I'm sad there's not like a robot cat or a real cat, because I would definitely buy a real cat. Achievement unlocked. Filial. What? You bought a gift for your mom in her old age. Oh, cool. You powered the cat down after it started making a fuss in the car, but now it's back on, making confused mewing sounds from its carrier. Like the rest of your robots, it's an independent sort, but you think Mom always liked that about you, too. You knock on Mom's front door. Coming, you hear her call from inside. When Mom answers the door, you see her left eye is synthetic. Though it is intended to look as human-like as possible, it looks dry and its movements are just not quite as fast as those of a human eye. She had been going blind in that eye and had opted to have it replaced shortly after her tumor was taken out. The hair near the side of her original surgery is a little dry and thin, and it's all grey. Your mother is very old. She smiles when she sees you and gives you a hug, which you return. Come in, come in. Inside, you find your mother's cleaning robots still busily puttering about the house, cleaning up. They look very much like your typical tech product, all blacks and chromes that look out of place in your mom's homey living room, but at least they were autonomous enough that Mom felt comfortable hitting the on button and letting them do their thing. The little devices are bright enough to plug themselves in when they are done, but not bright enough to know that their master is gone, their purpose in life obsolete. Photos of your wedding day with Ali are framed on the wall in the living room. Following your gaze, Mom says, "Can you believe how long it's been?" The years go by quickly, you agree. But you're still as in love as the day you got married, right? More, you say. You should have brought Ali down. Next time, you promise. Did you have a child? Yes, a boy. Yes, a girl. No, Lillian would always be my child in spirit. A girl. What is her name? You know, all the names that I would name my child are Czech. So, let's find some name that I really like in English. Oh, Samantha. I like that name. The wedding photos of you and Ellie are photos of Samantha in the hospital shortly after being born. Then more as Samantha turned 1, 2, 4, and 6. How's the Samantha doing now? Mom asks. You're still sending her to a traditional school rather than doing internet learning? I would love both, you say. I can't quite give up the idea that it's good to have a child learn to interact with other children face to face, but I think Samantha learns a lot more from the internet. We're doing one of those part-time schooling things, light on the hours. Vivian loves to teach too. We do a lot of that. You notice a book on the kitchen counter, The Robotic Path to Enlightenment by Tammy Cooper. Are you reading that? You ask Mom hesitantly. Oh, I've read it a few times now, Mom says. It's very insightful. You flip through the book. It advises seeking the robot mind, in which you set aside the things that trouble you and try looking at your problem from a vantage point that is both childlike and analytical, questioning everything. It gives several examples from Lillian's own life. Do you seek the robot mind, Mom? Mom smiles. Yes, I find it helps when my arthritis kicks in. Ouch, I'm sorry to hear that. Mom shakes her head. It's fine. Those really are useful tips. Whatever happened to this cult? I invested some personal funds to start building churches. Requires wealth for. They continue to operate underground. Or Vivian disbanded them and told them all to find some real religions. That's good. That's good. You know, one thing is that the robot mind, or thing about like this kind of idea that you should look, step back and look at things objectively. I kind of like that. I guess I'm an emotional kind of person, really, but this is the way I like solving things too. But as the matter of fact, I'm gonna go with this one because I can just imagine, they're having some kind of mass or something, and then the robots walks in. What the fuck, people? Just get out! I'm not a god. Let's go with that. Though the cultists were sad at first to endure Lillian's rejection, most of them found homes in other religions that had a bit more of a proven track record. You hope those wayward people finally found communities that could give them peace. Did that change something? Yeah, it gave us humanity, okay. It occurs to you, looking through all of this stuff with Mom, that the whole thing you were concerned about, the future of your creation, Vivian, Mom was excited for you in the same way. You were her creation, miraculously walking about the earth, so full of intelligence, accomplishing great things. I have something for you too, Mom says. She goes into her closet and fetches a brand new mini-me robot kit. It's a robot construction kit composed of little arms and wheels that plugs into a smartphone. You examine it skeptically, convinced Mom would have gotten something on sale that only worked with smartphones from 20 years ago, but it looks new. It's not really for you, it's for Samantha, Mom says. I don't know whether she likes robots, but if she's anything like you or your father, she will. Thanks, you say, because the implicit message there is, you turned out pretty well. Not that you'd expect anything less from Mom. I think she'll appreciate it. Anyway, I've got to fly back now, you say. Happy holidays, Mom. You hug your mother, present the robot cat. She loves it, but you think she wouldn't let you know if she didn't, and say your goodbyes. Later that day, you set out for home. Your car zigzags through the odd side streets of your mom's neighborhood, presumably following some robot air traffic controller's precise instructions to find a street long enough for takeoff. Airports are a thing of the past. Robots' control of airspace is just as efficient, careful, and fair as their control of everything else. You recall in your youth that you had some notion you might make cars intelligent enough to hold a conversation. Now, you're a little sad that you never got around to it. Though the technology does exist, you find the inferior AI installed by car manufacturers irritating, and bought a car without the feature. You pull out the tablet and begin to read the newspapers as your car does its work silently and efficiently. You feel the lurch of acceleration, and you know without looking up that you're airborne. Where did you, Ellie, and Vivian decide to spend the rest of your days? Cambridge, Massachusetts. I still have fond memories of going to MIT. Palo Alto, where I went to grad school. I love seeing what the young people are working hard to create every day. We decided to move to the small town of Hope in Canada. We remained in Alaska, where the factory was, or Washington, D.C., where I often advised the government. Oh. This is, I don't know, each one of these seems really good. I kind of like the idea of going back where, you know, where I started, and you know, that's where we meet with Ali. So Palo Alto it is then. Palo Alto has done well since the robot boom. The streets are full of the latest models of biodiesel electric hybrid flying cars, and the hologram billboards advertise ever more outlandish perks for employees willing to jump ship for a different company. To your surprise, the current boom appears to be not in robots, but genetic engineering technology. Though besides gene working its way into all of the startup names, you have little idea what all these startups do exactly. Make beautiful people smile, you guess, judging from the advertisements. You feel lucky that when you were of an age to decide what to do, your passion was in the right place at the right time. It's dark out by the time you make it home. Winter always catches you by surprise that way. You live in a 2-story house you purchased a while back, a luxury by today's standard, since most people rent apartments. Most people these days would at least rent out a room or two another family, but being a robot maker and a parent means you want to leave room for additions to the family. Welcome home, Ellie calls from the other room as you open the door. Ellie rounds the corner and you see she's wearing an artist's smock covered in big red daubs of paint. She comes to greet you with a warm hug and a kiss you think is longer than what is normal for couples who've been married as long as you two. But it's not longer than what is usual for Ellie. Oops, Ellie jerks back. Sorry, got some red on you. You see that indeed some of the red paint on Ellie's smock was not quite dry, and you've got big red daubs of paint on your clothes now. No worries, you say. I thought you were busy making fundraising calls today. Ellie runs a charity for people displaced in the war, helping them with legal costs of reclaiming their property. I was. But it's later than you think, Alice says. It's almost 9. Where does the time go, you ask? It's a question that's been bouncing around your head all day, in fact. It feels good to let it out. Here, I'll show you what I've been working on this evening, Alice says. She leads you to her studio, where a half-finished painting depicts a field of red flowers, all spinning like pinwheels. The paint itself looks like it's moving. You think Ellie has used one of those new living paints that uses phototoxic microorganisms to impart the illusion of motion. It's real, but somehow a compelling image. I came across this line the other day, Ellie says. Consider the lilies of the field. They do not toil, nor do they spin. And I thought, well, why couldn't they spin? It's a striking image, don't you think? They're called red furry lilies. Or red fury lilies. It is, you agree. It's beautiful. Ellie then gets a concerned look. How's your mother doing after her surgery? She's actually looking quite good for a woman who just had surgery, but walking around her place made me realize how old I'm getting. You take a moment to glance through the pile of 3D printed mail waiting for you on your desk. You find a Christmas card signed by all the employees of Lillian Works. Sweet of them to think of you. You're pretty popular, Alice says with a grin. I try, you say. There was also some snail mail for you, Alice says. Really? Ellie leaves briefly and returns with a bottle of Alaskan wine, a 2040 Cabernet Sauvignon, and a card. Josh wishes you the best this holiday season, and he wanted to let you know he started a charitable foundation for kids coming out of juvenile hall and trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Finally, I got my wish to change the world in a way I was unequivocally proud of, and I have you to thank for it in part. Merry Christmas, Josh. That's sweet, Alice says. Where's Samantha, you ask? She's at the library being reclusive, Alice says. Wonder where she gets that from. A smile plays at Alice's lips. Well, that does give me a chance to hide her present, you say. What did you get Samantha for her 8th birthday? 8th? I'm 54. I got a kid when I was 46? A robot kit, paints and an easel, an internet-enabled contact lens. I wonder. I'm not sure. I like the paints and an easel, but you know, this one is telling me go in my steps, go in your mother's steps, and this one is just weird. Why would I give contact lenses to an 8-year-old child unless she has an eye deficiency? Well, not deficiency, I mean, you know, she's wearing glasses or something. I don't know, it's just... Okay, a robot kit.